Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Super Mario RPG. In the last part, we freed Nimbus Land from the terror of Valentina and reunited Mallet with his family. And now, before we progress with plot, we're going to be doing some side stuff around the world just to kind of clean up some loose ends. For instance, there's now some extra flowers you can get, extra frog coins for there were once flowers, as well as completely hidden passageways. Oh, busted. What to do? I'll give you this fertilizer if you let me go, okay? Didn't someone want that? More on that later. For now, though, let's actually head down into the world itself before I take care of anything else. Because I figured out where that missing surprise chest was that I thought I had missed, and it turns out I had. It's right up here in the Marrymore Hotel's second floor. Just jump up here, and you get it. I swear I got that one in recording, but apparently I didn't. It may have been a recording I scrapped due to the Marrymore Hotel stuff I had to do. By the way, now we're at the top of Booster's Tower because, hey, look who's here. What are you babbling about? Why should I marry you? What a wonderful thing to say. How adorable? Question mark? I guess that wraps up those two character plot lines. With that, though, now we need to head on over to Rosetown, because of course that's where we need to go. It's where the guy who wanted the seed and fertilizer is. So let's go hand those off to him, shall we? Incredible! I can't believe it! It's the legendary seed I've read about in the ancient gardening text. You know, somewhere, can you even begin to comprehend what a huge discovery this is? I spent my whole life searching for one. It's too much, I tell you. Hey, I haven't quite finished yet. Well, that's my story. Say, will you give me the seed? Sure. I finally have it. This is extraordinary. Egads, you know what happened to the fertilizer from the Shaman clan? Famous for its miraculous feats of gardening. I looked for it beyond the cliffs and tried to be valid, but failed. I traveled around the world and waited a lifetime for some of that fertilizer you've got there. Short attention span. Yes, you might say I have fertilizer on the brain. Will you give it to me? Sure. Oh, thank you. I finally have both the seed and the fertilizer. I'll try them out right away. You know what's kind of sad? That didn't take any breath out of me. I'll plant the seed. Then give it fertilizer. Nothing's happening. Okay, there's a climax. Oh, wow, that's... Wow. Wow! This is amazing! This is unreal. This is just like winning the lottery, only without taxes. I mean, this is like falling out of an airplane without a parachute and hitting a gaggle of geese mid-air, break your fall. Wait until the party's over. Happy gardeners will hear about this. I'm gonna be famous. Maybe we can get my picture in the next issue. You could use a little more fertilizer. Oops, maybe not, huh? Well, aside from hearing me talk like a maniac, this is actually worth something, because climbing this vine brings us to two very special treasure chests that contain the Lazy Shell and the Lazy Shell. Those are two different items. One's a weapon, one is a piece of armor. The weapon is just Mario's ultimate weapon in the game. It has the biggest damage range that he can get, but it is the highest damage you can get with him. It's a plus 90 to his attack set, I believe. And the armor is not something I like to use too much. I think it adds 127 defense and magic defense, but it lowers your attack, magic attack, and speed by 50. It also, I think, prevents every status ailment and 0 damage from elemental attacks, which could be theoretically useful, I guess. But honestly, the best opportunity to use the Lazy Shell armor is on Peach if you bring her into the Culex battle, because the elemental attacks are just that dangerous. Say, hey, we meet again. This here land is rich. It's got tons of loot and I want it all. But hey, I'm not sweating. This advice will tell me whether the treasures are hidden. The rest of them mine. All mine. Adios, fools. And by coming over to see Krocko over here after you've gotten the Valentina out here, you find the signal ring, which when equipped to a character will make a ringing sound when you enter a room with a surprise chest. However, at this point, I think there's not many surprise chests left, to say the least. Also, I didn't show this off earlier, but where Birdo once was, there's now statues of every single party member, which is cool, I guess. Also, there's something I forgot to show off over here. The king gave me another job as a guard. Prince Mallow. Thank you so much. We were able to rescue my father with the key you gave us. Don't mention it. Besides, it was you who actually rescued him. Good luck in the future. You too. Prince. Here, this is from me. Please, take it. And we get a flower jar. Which isn't going to be too useful for boosting our FP, obviously. But it is going to have a good use in that it allows us to restore our FP. Up ahead of the hot springs, but only royalty is allowed. Hey, you're the real prince. Sorry about the misunderstanding before. There's no way that fat bird could have been a prince, huh? No big deal. Anyway, do you think you can let us through here? Of course. Either way, it's about time we progress. Go right ahead. Please enjoy yourselves. But be careful not to fall into the volcano. Haha, it's funny because that's our actual goal. The hot springs, though, is basically another free inn. So that's like, what, the 4th one in the game? Either way, on to our next dungeon. And potentially my favorite song in the game, aside from the Final Fantasy IV remix. Barrel Volcano's theme is just so kick-ass. And we immediately have our first 2 enemies for the part. Magmusts and Armored Ants. Magmusts have 50 HP. Only can up their defense, I believe, with Valor up. Weak against ice. Immune to jump, fire, and all status ailments. 3 coins, 18 experience points. Can drop a Lucky Flower. And can be Yoshi Cookied or drop a Bracer. Thunderbolt is enough to take them out, though, because even though they're weak to ice, their HP is so low, it's not worth it. Armored Ants are a different story. 230 HP, can up their attack with Vigor up. Weak against ice, immune to fire. 5 coins, 30 experience points, have a defensive flower, and can be Yoshi Cookied into a Power Blast, which I've used before. Basically a 100% attack boost on the entire party. And in here we got 2... jumping over here is actually kind of annoying, but we have 2 flowers in here, as well as new enemies, Pyrospheres and Chained Kongs. Pyrospheres have 167 HP, fire attacks as you would expect with, like, Drain, I think Flamestone. Weak against ice, immune to fire and poison. 2 coins, 17 experience points. Can drop a, once again, flower and be Yoshi Cookied into a firebomb. The Chained Kong has 355 HP, weak to ice, immune to fire. 8 coins, 35 experience points, has an HP max flower. Can be Yoshi Cookied into a pick-me-up or drop a max mushroom. If you haven't figured it out, you're going to get a lot of use from Snowy in here. Although I actually prefer to only use it against battles that have things like the Chained Kongs, though, or like more than 4 enemies, just because the FP cost of Snowy is pretty ridiculous. Also, touching the lava in any of these rooms basically sends you back to where you entered the room. Alright, now we have kind of 2 new enemies, but also one, Corkpedite and its body. The Corkpedite, which is the head and arms, has 200 HP, Sandstorm so it can fear you, weak to ice, immune to fire and all status ailments. 10 coins, 50 experience points, an attack up flower, can be Yoshi Cookied into a crystalline, and can drop a fear bomb, whereas the body has 300 HP, has access to the migraine attack, which is what the Pulsars had, which is an instant kill if it hits. Weak against ice, immune to fire and all status ailments, 30 experience points, no coins, has a defense up flower, can be Yoshi Cookied into a mushroom or drop a honey syrup or royal syrup. Barrel Volcano, though, is going to be an interesting dungeon in that it's probably the most linear one in the game. There are no split pathways. Either way, next new enemy is a Vomer. It's the same as a Dry Bones. You need to actually hit it with a magic attack to kill it. Can drop a Pure Water, 19 experience points, no coins, immune to, I think, all status ailments. Yoshi Cookied into a Pure Water as well, I believe, has an attack up flower, I think, as well. Now, one thing I've never done, but I think you can do pretty easily, is grind off of the Dry Bones type enemies, just because, you know, they technically never die. But it's not worth your time. There is one better way to actually get EXP in the game that I haven't really shown off and probably won't. Essentially, you may have seen it even when if you were playing along. Back in the Pipe Maze, before Yoster Isle, there is a chance in battles with, I think, the Piranha Plants in particular, you can run into an enemy known as a Shy Ranger, basically this weird camouflage shy guy, who is absurdly fast and will likely run away. But if you take him down, I think it's like 60 experience points, and that's probably the best way to get level ups quickly, especially with the experience booster. Also, in terms of level up, something I actually haven't quite mentioned, with Mario, Mallow, and Peach in particular, because I'm going along the HP magic power route with them, I'm only keeping them with that until, I think at this point, the next multiple of 3, which would be 27, I think, yeah. Their last 3 levels, I'm going to be switching up their level up order to focus on what they're good at. Like with Mario, it's probably going to be power and maybe magic. Actually, yeah, basically that's going to be it. The last multiple of 3 between 27 and 30, if I even have to do that at all, it'll be focused on power and magic instead of HP. Because at that point, and I know I mentioned before, Once you've taken down Culex, you don't really need to focus on your HP as much anymore because nothing else is really going to do that much damage to you ever again. But I'm keeping with it for now just to feel safe. Also, as you saw, there was a frog going up there where you get that, exit the area, re-enter, and then hit the lava. That's pretty fun and clever. Alright, now we have donut tile platforming. I do believe these donut tiles will fall if you stand on them long enough. However, the kind of dumb thing about them is if they start falling, you just need to jump again and they'll stop falling. Even if you stay on the same platform otherwise. Alright, time for our next new enemy. This is the Whirlikin. 85 HP, weak to ice, immune to jump, fire, and all status ailments. 0 coins, 22 experience points, has an attack up flower, and can be Yoshi Cookied or drop an Energizer. However, as with many other of the enemies in this area, Snowy's not worth using on them because their HP is low enough to the point where Thunderbolt will take care of them pretty easily. Also, I know I haven't really talked about it before, but I brought Geno in just because I think he hasn't been getting much screen time recently. Admittedly, something I really have to give credit to Mario RPG for is that I don't think there's an outright bad character. Bowser's probably the least useful, but that's just because his attacks are much more limited, even though he's great as a physical fighter. My favorite party, though, is probably still Mario, Mallow, and Peach, just because they all have great non-elemental multi-targeting attacks and such. Either way, next new enemy is the Stumpet, 500 HP, weak to ice, immune to fire, and all status ailments. 15 coins, 70 experience points, has a defense up flower, can be Yoshi Cooking into a Royal Syrup, and drop either a Fear Bomb or Fire Bomb. They're probably the healthiest enemies in here, and the way they work in the world is they'll consistently spit out Magmuses, similarly to how the Corkpedites that we saw earlier can knock down Whirlikins from the ceiling. Though, admittedly, if you're going for as much experience as you can get, it's actually better to let them fall. Just because that way you'll get as many enemies as you can out of there. Now, something I haven't gone over in a lot of my RPG stuff is that something I like when an RPG does right is when it makes the space between level ups feel like the right amount. And Mario RPG, I think, does a good job at balancing out when the levels happen, because I think the enemies give experience at a good increasing rate to the point where it feels like the space between your level ups feel rewarding enough that you've actually progressed, but not so long that you feel like you're almost grinding. I think the only time the game really gets like that is maybe even the last 3 levels, and even then, those can be faster than certain other games. As you see, I'm leveling up with Crapload. Enemies just give really good experience in Barrel Volcano. In fact, honestly, if you can grind here, because I know some areas the enemies don't respawn, it might be one of the best areas to grind in the game, given the experience point output compared to the amount of enemies in it and how linear the place is. Not that you really need to grind in this game to begin with, obviously, but eh. Oh, hey, you're different looking and strange place to put coins. Hey there. Ooh, I thought I heard footsteps. For a minute I thought I was going nuts. I'm Hinopio. This place is a regular inferno. Come on, step inside. Hinopio holds the Hino Mart, which is essentially a break area. Items for you in case you're low on them. Has an equipment shop even, as well as an inn. So essentially, don't use your Kero Colas in here. However, I do need to sell some items, and even I think a couple of weapons, because I'm getting low on inventory space, and he does have new equipment for us that is just straight up new armor. And I think this is the first place since Marymore, I think, even, if not a bit earlier, also hi, R-Wing, Blue Falcon, Red Stingray, that sells a new piece of armor for Bowser that's also incredibly worth it, because the Fire Shell is just a good defense upgrade. I'm still going to be keeping around the work pants I've had on him since Moleville, basically, but that's just in case I need them for the speed boost or something similar to that. Also, I don't know why, but it's always just weird to me to see a shop in the middle of a dungeon that is also an inn. I mean, don't get me wrong, whenever it happens, I'm thankful for it, especially if it's light in a long dungeon. And that's something I think that Final Fantasy III needed with the Crystal Tower. But it still always feels a bit alien, you know what I mean? It's like, here is an evil stronghold, and also there's this really chill dude in it who will let you sleep in his house. Also, make sure you save, because coming up is a fairly long chain of events. Including more Pyrospheres, and Chain Kongs, I think, even. I want to say the lowest level I've ever finished this game, by the way, is probably 20. So honestly, you're very good at a lot of levels. As long as you're in your 20s, you're basically fine for finishing the game. That's endgame levels. It'll be a bit harder, obviously, to be at like level 20 versus level 25 or 6, but it's still got useful. Ow. Also, I don't know why, but the lava in this game kind of feels out of place. The way it looks, at least. It looks like something I'd see in Final Fantasy VI in the Phoenix Cave, I think that was called. As well as, wasn't there an area that looked like that in the advanced version in the Dragon's Den? That's a lot of pyrospheres. That's not pyrospheres at all. Boss of the Barrel Volcano is the Tsar Dragon. 1400 HP, Flame Wall, Water Blast, and Iron Maiden, so it has a lot of party damaging attacks, and Iron Maiden in particular can fear your party member, so Safety Ring or Fear Pin is recommended if you can. Weak against Ice, immune to Fire and Sleep, 0 coins, 100 experience points, and that's about it. Strategy for this fight is to use Snowy with Mallow, obviously just to get the most damage in, and physically attack with Mario and Peach just because you want to save your FP for the moment. Notable, the Lazy Shell attack timing, I know I'm very late mentioning this, isn't like the other shells where it's when it's in the right, somewhere in the middle of the air. The timing for it is right before you kick it, and you want to get that timing down because that can do a lot of damage. I think the rough range of the Lazy Shell's damage is somewhere between 350 and 450 at my current level, but it's still, you want to get as much as you can. You know, that would be threatening if Peach wasn't getting damaged by it. Alright, I guess that's done. No, it's not. This boss has a second phase, though it's technically considered a different enemy. The Zombone, 1800 HP, Boulder, Blast, and Storm. So quite a few more single target abilities, actually. Weak against Jump and Thunder, so you can guess what Mallow and Mario are going to be doing in this fight. Immune to Fire, Ice, and all status ailments, 0 coins, and gives out 50 experience points. Strategy for this fight, Peach is mostly going to be healing or physically attacking, depending on what the situation's looking like. Mario is going to be using Jump, because it's just the most powerful move he has at the moment for this, and Mallow is going to be using Shocker for the similar reason. This is the other boss I mentioned that technically got spoiled by the intro cutscene I showed a few parts ago that shows up when you load the game. The other one was Birdo, as I mentioned. And the Tsar Dragon, and I think maybe the Zombone shows up as well. So with that, I think we've technically seen everything the intro had to offer. We are now technically free from whatever kind of spoilers can show up in that intro. Even though I deliberately noticed they actually like fake you out with a couple of scenes in the intro. Like there's a scene where Mario is where you fight Bowyer, and you're going up against Bowser goons. Either way, making sure that my equipment's all set up. I want to put the attack scarf back on Mario because I put the Quartz Charm on before that fight, as I showed off before I entered the room. And then I think Geno has the experience booster now. And hey, star number 6. That's red. That's a good color to have for this right now. Bit redundant given the appropriate, even more so actually now I think about because it's the fire area, but cool. 6 stars down, 1 to go. Yeah. What? Who the? We got the star! We're amazing! We're unbeatable. We're gorgeous! You'd better leave now, chumps. Power Rangers? / Super Sentai? What the hell? They all had axes too, I noticed. Hey, Red, look down there. That's gotta be the ugliest mustache I've ever seen. Ew, gross. That guy's worse than looking like that Claude Mario. That is Mario, you dolts. Listen, everyone, we gotta get this started the blade immediately. We'll deal with Mario later. Alright, and this is a chase sequence. You're just running down the hallway. There's no time limit or anything. Hey, Red, careful with this. You're all thumbs. I mean, you guys only have, like, balls for fists, it looks like, so to be expected. Also, I'm trying to think. I don't think there's ever been a Power Rangers Super Sentai team that had this 5 colors as the starting setup. I think Kyoryuger got close, but I think they were missing the yellow. in particular. Who knows, maybe whatever's after Lupin Pat Ranger. Jump on up here and make sure your items are all set up because it's time for something special. Where's the blade? He'll be here! You sure? Relax, people! Mario's here! He's too late! Where's the blade? Shut up already! Oh. Finally! We ain't letting you get away that easily. We fight for evil. We live for disorder. We like what we do. We struggle for chaos. We are the Axum Rangers. This star piece gives people hope. It needs to be destroyed. Alright, time to fight the Axum Rangers, all 5 of them. We want to start off by going after Axum Pink because she has Petal Blast, which could mushroom us all potentially. 400 HP, weak to fire, which is why I'm using Super Flame. Immune to ice, sleep and mute, 0 coins, 10 experience points. Now we want to use Star Rain to get some good damage in on everyone. And our next target after we take out Pink is going to be Axum Black because he has the next least HP. 550 HP, has Spritz Bomb, which can do some damage to one target, but it's nothing too much to worry about at the moment. Weak against Thunder, immune to fire and sleep, 40 experience points. Mallow is more useful here than a lot of the other characters just because not only does he have a multi-targeting non-elemental spell, but the extra elements he can cover are good. Yo, Red, what? My makeup's running. Then change brands. Whenever you get a cutscene like that of sorts, that means that that ranger is now out of the battle and out of HP. So Pink is now down, we're down to 4 targets. Axum Black also likes to get a lot of attacks in very quickly. Thankfully, Peach also has a multi-targeting non-elemental spell. Thank you, Psych Bomb. Yo, Red. What? I broke my shades. Serves you right. After that, our next target is going to be Axum Yellow, 600 HP. Body Slam, which is nothing really to worry about. Weak to jump, immune to thunder, poison, and sleep. 30 experience points. So we're just going to jump on him at our next opportunity. Green has Solidify, which is potentially dangerous, although it's not as dangerous as it used to be, actually. Yo, Red. What? I'm hungry. Chew on your tongue. Next up, we're going after Axum Green. Even though he has less HP than Yellow at 450, he's still potentially annoying. Yo, Red! What? I've got a headache. You're totally out of shape. Green mostly has high damage magic attacks like Solidify, Static Electricity. Elegy is his most annoying thing because that can mute us. He's weak to ice, immune to sleep and mute, 20 experience points. Next up, we got Red, who has 800 HP, can up his attack, weak to ice, immune to fire, fear, and sleep, and has 40 experience points. Enough! Now I'm angry. Time to finish this. Formation Ho! Here we go. Okay, now we're fighting the Axum Rangers themselves, technically, but we're actually fighting as the ship, the Blade. In fact, in the Japanese version, it even lists that. The Blade has 999 HP. Breaker Beam is its only attack, which needs to charge up but can do obscene damage at like 90. Force Beam energized, maximum charge. Now fire the breaker. Just to show exactly what it'll do, it's pretty disgusting. The Blade is weak to thunder, immune to fire, poison, sleep, and mute. Not fear, though, surprisingly, so I guess Bowser could theoretically be useful in this boss fight. No coins, 50 experience points. Once you got here, though, the fight is much easier because you're only fighting one target, and even though it has more HP than any of the individuals, it's so low HP for boss fights at this point in the game comparatively that it'll go down pretty quickly. Mind you, I guess, theoretically, would the Axum Rangers be the healthiest boss in the game combining all their HP? They'd be pretty close, because Culex obviously is still above them at 4096. But combining all of theirs, it's at least 2,000 or 3,000, I think. This is impossible! We are invincible! Can this be happening to the Axum Rangers? Yep, so we're just gonna ditch. And that's the end of the fight. Kinda wish these characters showed up a bit more because I think they could be interesting to have more interactions with, but nope, they're exploding. Kind of a brutal way to go, honestly. And with that, I'm thankful the star didn't get destroyed in the explosion, but star number 6 is now actually ours. 1 to go, but wait, aren't we technically at the end of the continent? Where do we go from here? Because kind of gone around in most of the circle. 6 star pieces have finally been collected. What could that last star piece be? Yeah, my question exactly. Alright, before we do anything else, after that you're immediately taken to the world map, so I've headed over to Moleville, because now that we have the 6th star, the guy here in Moleville has a 3rd item for us. Still don't want the Lucky Stone. Mystery Egg, still no thanks. However, he does have a metal plate. We want to buy this. Why? It is Peach's ultimate weapon, the Frying Pan. Similarly to the Lazy Shell, it has a fairly decent range of how much damage it can do, although it is a smaller range of damage, and it's just really worth it to get. Now, let's go see Mallow's parents since we have the 6th star. Mom, Dad! Were you able to find the star, dear? Yeah, the Axum Rangers took it away from us, but we got it back again.
That's wonderful. Now the star thing can be repaired, right? I guess not. You're still missing a piece, I take it.
The last star. Wait, the only place left to look in is Bowser's Keep. Yeah, we know, but there's no way to get in. Believe me, we've tried, but...
Yes, even Mario can't jump that far. Alright, I'll let you use the...
That's it, dear.
You should use the Royal Bus. Yes, Mallow, the time has come for you to take the bus. Why, when I was your age...
Really? Are you sure it's alright? Of course, dear. I've ordered the repairman to have it fixed by the time you leave. You simply have to help Mario and the others get that last star. You bet, Mom. Come on, Mario, let's go. Alright, with that, it's about time we actually return to where we started this whole adventure. However, notable, I don't think heading to Bowser's Keep is a point of no return, but if you have any business still left to do in the world, like any treasure chests you've missed and such, I'd say it's recommend doing right now. If you've been following this as a guide, you should have all the equipment I have and such, all the unique accessories, as well as... And you can go check with the box boy Monster Hunter to confirm this. 1 surprise box remaining. Also, this is what my party's looking like. I prepared them ahead of time for what's coming up. But with that, I'm going to need to end this off here. Thank you guys for watching, and in part 15, we're heading on off to Bowser's Keep to see how much has changed since we were there in part 1. See you guys then.